Hey guys, Dividend 10 here, making my first video on not dividends, but actually how to set up Google Analytics via Google Tag Manager. The reason why I'm doing this is because I've been looking at my own analytics when I first started out the site, and just so happens nobody reads my posts about the stuff that I'm buying, but they do apparently like two things. You guys who visited so far like seeing my income reports. You like some of the dividend roundup stuff and the analytics. So that's what I do during the day. I actually do Google Analytics work for clients and digital marketing. And so I did a post basically just talking about what happened in the first month and how I got hit with referral spam. And it just kind of occurred to me that maybe more of the value of what I can provide is helping dividend bloggers or other bloggers kind of set up their stuff and make smart decisions with the data that they're seeing. Because, frankly, most people just slap Google Analytics on their site and then don't really know what to do with it. And they think they're done. And in fact, it's actually super interesting. You can see what's going on, but you have to A, make sure it's set up right, and B, you have to interpret it properly. So basically what I'm going to do in this video is show you how you set up Google Analytics from scratch, and I'm going to do it using something called Google Tag Manager. Now, Google Tag Manager is like the ultimate thing you should be doing. If you're not using Google Analytics with Google Tag Manager, it's okay, but you're missing out on a lot. So think about Google Analytics as like peanut butter, and Google Tag Manager is like jelly. You can eat peanut butter by itself, but it's not as good unless you have peanut butter and jelly. So basically it's a tag management system. It's going to make it really easy for you to make changes to your site and track things that you want to track. But we'll get into all that stuff, but basically this is how you do it. So let's say you have your WordPress site, and here's my brand new WordPress site. And one of the first things you want to do is actually get your Google Analytics set up. So what you're going to do, I'm just going to walk you through it step by step. Basically what you do is you just go to your analytics.google.com. You might already have analytics on your site. If you don't, this is how you're going to do it from scratch. Just go ahead and sign up. And basically what you want to do is you want to track a website. Now you're going to set up your account name, and it's the most top level of your organization. So for myself, I would just call it like Dividend 10. Kind of a dumb name, I know. I just came up with it, but the whole idea was like I was going to get financially independent in 10 years and do it through dividends. So there you go. It turns out this whole site might end up being about how you blog about dividends. I don't know. So might have to change that, turn into like dividend blog or something. Anyways, Dividend 10. And then what you do is you type in your website name. And again, I just call it Dividend 10. And then you go here and you type in your URL, dividend10.com. And then this isn't so important, but you can do an industry category. I'm not really sure what I am. I guess business, finance. There you go. Anyway, it's not that big of a deal, honestly. But what is kind of a big a deal is you want to make sure you're in the right reporting time zone. So I'm actually in Arizona, so I believe they have an Arizona time somewhere. Guess they don't. Mountain time. Oh, there it is. Arizona gets its own zone because we're kind of weird. And make sure you have the right one up, because if the time zone's in the wrong time zone, then your reports are going to be all skewed up. So you're not going to be looking at things properly. So make sure it's set up right. Select all these things. It's just going to make it easier for you to share your data. Like if you ever want to call up and speak to an analytics representative, it'll just make it easier for you to do it. And then this is what you do. You get your tracking ID, and then you just kind of sign your life away. If you just want to don't do anything and go home, click I do not accept. Otherwise, click I accept. Okie dokie. So now you have your tracking ID. And normally what you do is you just sort of take this script and you paste it on the head of your website. So we're not going to do that. we're going to do something. We're going to implement it via Google Tag Manager. So basically, what you want to do next is just hold off on that. Go over to your Google Tag Manager account, a different tab, and you get there by going to tagmanager.google.com, and you'll want to set up your own Tag Manager account. So that's sort of the second phase. The account name, again, we'll put dividend 10, and I'm going to just call this test. You can share it anonymously if you want. It doesn't really matter. Again, dividend10.com. Where to use container. Obviously, you'll put your own URL there. Put it on the web. You can also do Android, iOS if you wanted. I'm assuming as a blogger you're not going to have that stuff, so don't worry about it. Click Create. Sign your life away. And now you should get your Tag Manager script. All right. Boom. So you have your analytics script and your Tag Manager script. The third thing you want to do is you actually want to install it on your site. So basically the way you do that is I'm going to highly recommend that you use WordPress. If you don't, I mean, there's other ways of doing it, but, you know, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be WordPress. So then you go to your plugins, and what we're going to do is we're going to install a Tag Manager plugin. There's a particular one we want. Click on Add New, and then the one you want is type in Google Tag Manager. This is the one you want here. This is the prime one, the Duracell Tomy Google Tag Manager. This is the one you want. Click that, install it like a boss. Activate it. And it is now here, Google Tag Manager for WordPress. Click on Settings. You got to set it up. So basically what you want to do is you want to input your Google Tag Manager ID in here. So what you're going to do here is you're going to see this little GTM thing. You're going to take that GTM thing, you're going to copy it, and you're going to put it there. Now, the next thing, this is the only thing that's actually slightly technical that you have to do. It says, where do you want to place the code? So normally you just be like, oh, just place in the footer. Don't do that because it won't necessarily load, and it's not accurate. You can do this other thing, codeless injection, but it says experimental, so I probably wouldn't want you to do that. So click Custom, and then what you want to do is you want to copy this little diddly-do here, like so, and save it. And you're going to have to put that right after the head tag, right after the body tag. So then what you're going to do is you're going to go to your appearance, and you're going to go to your editor, and you're going to look for your header.php file. Here it is, header.php. Click on that. And then right here, you see body, 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 body. Go ahead and click that right after the body tag. Don't just plop it anywhere. Make sure you're right after the body tag. And then what you want to do is you want to update your file. And then what you want to do is you want to go back to your website. I don't know what that is. You want to go visit your site. And now there's an extension that you can do here. You can get, it's called the Tag Assistant by Google, and it'll tell you if you're installed properly. And so right now it is installed. Unfortunately, there's no response code, which is what you'd expect because we haven't set up. So it is on the site now. You can see it's the correct container ID. So that's good. What you want to do now is you want to fire your Google Analytics tags using Google Tag Manager. So what you do is you go back to your Google Analytics account, go ahead and get your website tracking info. Just copy the whole thing, Control-C, copy it, go to your Tag Manager, and then what you want to do is you want to create a new tag. So Tag Manager is kind of interesting. It's set up by tags, triggers, variables, and folders. I guess we can talk about that more later, but just kind of follow along. What you do is click on tags. You want a new tag, and what you want to do, you want to give it a name. So it's Google Analytics. So you call Google, just do Google, or you go GA, Google Analytics. It's going to be, we're going to fire page view, and then we're going to do it on all pages. So page view is just the way normally Google Analytics will send information. Every time a page view is fired, it'll send a hit. So then what you do is you click Google Analytics as the product. There's other products, you can ignore those for now. You're using the most modern, up-to-date, which is Universal Analytics. And then you need to put in the tracking ID, which is this tracking ID. Now you could just paste it in here, but you're going to be using it a lot. So what I would recommend you do is you create a variable to store your tracking ID. So click on New Variable, and it's a constant, so click Constant, and this call is GAID, which is the Google Analytics Identification Code. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and go back to your Google Analytics account, copy that, paste it, and create the variable. So what's great now is anytime you need to create a new tag, you just click GAID, and suddenly, boom, it has your ID. So next thing is you want to track is a page view, so that's good. And the next thing you want to do is click Continue, and then you want to fire it on every single page. So create that tag, and there you go. So you have literally now you've installed Google Analytics into Google Tag Manager, which you've installed into your WordPress site. So what you want to do is you want to test it to make sure it's working properly. And the way you do that is you go to this Publish button, click on the far right, click on Preview, and it's going to be Preview and Debug. And now you're going to end up in your debug mode, which is going to make sure, which is going to let you see if you in fact are firing the tag correctly. So reload your WordPress site, and you should see the debug console come up here. And lo and behold, look at that. The tag fired into all pages. Look at that. And now let's try something else. Let's click on About Me. And boom, another page view fired, which is pretty cool. So another thing you can do, which if you just want to make sure that it's really working right, here's a pro tip. You can go into your reporting console, and there's a report called Real-Time Reports, and you've probably never used that before. You're like, what the heck is that? It basically shows you what's happening in real time. So I can click on Overview, and in fact, you can see, look, wow, About is the page somebody's on, active user, that's me. Haha. And then you can go back to the site and maybe click on Contact Me. Just make sure it's right, and it looks like it's firing on there. And then this should go, see, there it goes to contact. So you know that right now everything is tracking properly. So this is sort of the most sort of like basic possible installation of Google Analytics by Google Tag Manager. There's a lot of stuff you have to do to get your account set up properly. So I'm going to put this out there. If you guys are interested in like how to set up a Google Analytics account properly, so you get accurate data, you know, how to set filters and content groupings and goals and everything, so you're getting the right data using Google Tag Analytics and Google Tag Manager, let me know, and I'll do it. And we can kind of build on it. So that is it, and thanks for watching.